Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And this is the best Diablos event day 2 ever. 16 Black Diablos slain. Is this a solo world record? This means no alts, parties, or groups. And here's how my day started. It's leg day, yay! So, you know what, if you want to grind Monster Hunter now for 10 plus hours, you need strong legs, so leg day is necessary. Keep the bottom half of you strong, because once the first Monster Hunter Now event is announced, like a Go Fest like in Pokemon Go, I'm totally going and I'm grinding the entire event. After that, recovery and stretching. You got one body, so make sure y'all take care of it. Recovery and stretching is never bad to do, especially as an avid runner and playing Monster Hunter Now. If I'm going to do both in the same day like I did in day 1, I need to make sure I take care of my body. Also, I'm going to work on some content and emails. If you're listening to this, I plan on doing a Black Diablos guide for tomorrow, and also some information on the weapon and armor sets. So definitely keep an eye out for that for tomorrow if you want to take a look on my opinion about the Black Diablos armor as well as the weapons. And here was the game plan. Kill all Black Diablos. Drive the whole event for 3 hours exclusively targeting Black Diablos. So drive around, find Black Diablos, kill Black Diablos. One mission, one objective. Y'all know how to do it. Or what we're planning to do. Now, I was going to start far away at another city and work my way through in a zigzag pattern across 3 cities. So what I'm going to do is use the long roads to locate desert biomes, and then I'll use the residential areas to stop by down there, locate and see if there's any Black Diablos around me, and of course take out Black Diablos. Then I'm going to eat dinner, make the day 2 video, and then go out for a 2-3 hour on foot grind around my area. So I need more. I need more dopamine, so after this grind, I'm going to do another grind after I eat dinner. Plus, I like playing on foot more than I like driving. I've done that plenty of times for Pokemon Go. Monster Hunter Now, I actually want to get out and use my legs a lot. So definitely want to go out and hunt on foot a lot more than driving. And here's my day 2 loadout. It's going to be the same as day 1. My weapon's going to be the Glacial Arrow, the Legiana Bow, and my armor will be the Rathalos Helm, Leather Body, Kadachi Gloves, Legiana Belt, and Giura Legs. The stats for this are going to be my health at 100, attack at 439, affinity will be at 0, element is going to be ice at 346, defense will be at 400, and my equipment skills will be attack boost level 3, attack, ice attack level 2, fire resistance level 1, evade extender level 1, focus level 1, and artful dodger level 1. Sheer damage, and still being able to have some defense despite the fact I'm sacrificing all that defense for damage. And for pre-event prep, first I had to get gas. So yay for California gas prices, right? They are really, really high. But you know what? Thankfully, as a mental health therapist, I get paid a lot. So there you go. Next, I'm going to head to my pre-designated location. So get there early, and then finish daily quests and Diablo event quests early again. So get all that done early so you don't have to worry about it later. Save you some time because I'm going to be driving a lot anyways. And apparently Niantic fixed the spawn rates for Diablos, so they were much better for day 2 based on Reddit and Discord posts that I saw. So I was like, oh wait, so they finally fixed it, so that's how it's supposed to be. Well, hopefully we get lucky and find a lot more Black Diablos today because of that. And here is my first Black Diablos. I found it near our police station in the city, and I only found it in 5 minutes. Luckily, this place had a lot of parking, so it was a pretty easy location for me to park and pull over so I could kill this Black Diablos. Unfortunately, I didn't really have any notable drops. So the plan is for this day is to use gyms to double drops every kill. I am hoping that when I kill more Black Diablos, I get at least like a rarity 3 or rarity 4 so that I can make a bow and make some armor. Well, hopefully. You know how RNG this is, and the way my loadout is right now, I can't go past B. I can't get a B for my completion rank. So my best bet is to hopefully get C drops and pray that I get good drops. Again, as you see here, took out the Black Diablos no problem, and no notable drops. But I'm going to double up anyways just to make sure I make the most out of my Black Diablos. And now we go on to Black Diablos number 2 and 3. I got a double Black Diablos spawn. It was freaking nuts. I was like, oh my god, a double spawn. This area is near the mountains, and they have huge biomes, so I got super lucky with this one. I was like, oh my gosh, I picked the right route for this. Again, for some reason, there are huge biomes out in certain areas where in my city, and it was absolutely nuts. The problem was, I kept getting a network error, so I had to restart this battle like 3 times. Like, I was getting annoyed. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. But finally, I was able to get it solid after I finally got like a solid connection, and then I was able to take it out. I literally ulted one time and nothing happened, which happens sometimes, but I was like, are you serious? So, but all in all, I was like, you know what? This, as annoying as this battle was, it's a Black Diablos. I gotta double spawn. You know, you gotta be grateful for something. You can't complain about everything. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna kill you. It's gonna happen. I managed to even stun this dude. Like you see here, I managed to stun him. I was like, oh, you're dead. And you are mine today. But you know why it was also totally worth it as well? Because it also dropped a Rarity 3 Black Diablos Ridge drop. So I was super excited. I was like, oh my god, Rarity 3 Black Diablos Ridge, let's go! Black Diablos number 3 wasn't too far from number 2. It was an easy location to park, and I really didn't have any trouble trying to encounter it, thankfully. And I didn't have any other problems, so I was like, alright, let's go. Thankfully, Black Diablos 3 went down pretty easy. I even used my special attack for dramatic effect this time. We go in the beginning of the battle, and I'm like, alright, cool. Usually what I usually do is I will aim for the wing. As you see, I go to charge 4, I'll aim for a wing. And then this one burrowed immediately. I was like, oh my god, let's not this again. And I had to revive myself. This thing's really aggressive, but it also looks like a hitbox. Its hitbox when it pops out of the ground using that invincible attack is really freaking hot. Like, it's huge. Luckily, as you see here, I was able to evade, and I was just doing some work on this Black Diablos. You aren't going to get me again with that attack, and I wasn't going to use another potion. So as you see, dramatic attack, special attack, and then it goes down. But oh my gosh, this one, oh, I like went nuts. As you see here, it dropped a Rarity 4 Black Diablos Prime Shell. I can make a Black Diablos weapon, double up, use gems, and I was like going nuts. I immediately looked, took a picture, and sent it to my friend. I was like, dude, look, I can make Gilebender. Oh my gosh, I was going nuts. I was going like, I was like, just going nuts in my car. Luckily, no one saw me because it'd be super embarrassing. So, but you know what? Oh my gosh, I was so happy. I could make a Black Diablos weapon. I was like super stoked. I was super happy. And now we move on to Black Diablos number 4. It was a little further from Black Diablos number 3. Thankfully, it was another easy parking location. It went down pretty easily because I went freaking God mode. As you see, the battle begins, and as usual, I target that right wing. I'm left-handed, by the way, so I just target the right wing just because of preference. It dug underneath again, and I was like, oh my gosh, but look at that freaking amazing perfect evade. I was going off. That's perfect evade number 1, and I was just absolutely destroying this Black Diablos. It charged at me again, and literally this entire battle was charging at me like no tomorrow. I was getting like super annoyed. After canceling myself out right here, I charge up, and then here comes another perfect evade. I was going off. I didn't want to use a special this time around too, just in case another Black Diablos was near, so this really worked out for me. And also, after I finished this thing off, unfortunately, it didn't drop anything past Rarity 1. But I needed those Black Diablos shells to make Black Diablos armor, so you know what? It was pretty worth it in the end. Black Diablos number 5 was freaking nuts. I didn't notice it, but this was actually another double Black Diablos spawn. I zoomed out and I was like, wow. I was like, that's a double Diablo spawn. How did I not see that before? But I'm like, oh, I was just super freaking grateful because my luck this first hour is insane. It's crazy. But I realized why I didn't notice it before, because you see that 6-star Diablos that's blocking a little bit? I was like, wow, that's why I didn't notice it. I was like, okay. So, drove over there. Luckily, this one was another easy residential area, easy parking place, and let the battle begin. Usual, same thing, right wing, take it out. But this one went freaking nuts, as for some reason it's always the dig attack, and it hit me after that. I was like, a double dig, and I was like, oh my gosh, this one was just going nuts. But I wasn't going to use another potion. As you see, I was doing best I could, and this thing was just freaking super aggressive. I was like, I was getting a little frustrated because I was like, man, you know what? It even canceled my attack out from Aurora, and I'm like, could I really finish this thing? Thankfully, I was right to save my special attack, so I was just trying to just survive as much as I could, because like I mentioned, I was going to clutch up this round. I was not using another potion. I managed to take it out of the freaking ground by stunning it, and I actually didn't even use my special attack. After measuring it, I was like, you know, I was going to take it out anyways, but the great thing about this one is it actually dropped a freaking crazy drops. Rarity 2 and Rarity 3. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, I was super happy. And now, it was gonna happen eventually. A Black Diablo 6-star spawn number 1. It's kind of funny because 7 is my lucky number, so I was kind of pissed off. I was like, this one is a massive troll. I'm like, really? A troll Black Diablos? And it has to be a 6-star. Luckily, that area it was located at, it's a pain to get to. I have to go all the way down this road, take a right, and go into a residential area, and it was just a waste of time. So I'm glad I actually didn't have to go after this one. I was like, you know what, that's perfectly fine. I'm glad you're a 6-star. I'm gonna just skip you and move on to the next one. And now Black Diablos number 6. This one was super painful. So this one was located in a brand new house area that has a terrible phone signal. I couldn't get internet to save my life. I had to redo this battle like twice, I think? No, 3 times because the network was just so spotty. That's why you see me use a potion here. And it was a rough battle to say the least. I was so scared of DCing. As you see, right wing battle, and it was even freezing. So I was like, oh my gosh, my screen was freezing. And luckily, somehow, someway, I didn't get hit by that ramming attack. I was still going off though. I was like, this time it's not gonna happen. I will take you out, and it's gonna happen. Well, I hope it was anyways. It was even crazier because like all this thing was doing is just ramming me. It was like a football. It was like a 49ers game. It was like just going left and right and just trying to freaking sack me like a football statistic. I was just like, oh my gosh, please just go down. And luckily, I didn't even use my special attack, and it just went down. And then I went crazy after seeing these drops though. After this, you see Rarity 3 Black Diablos Rich and Rarity 4 Black Diablos Prime Shell. That was insane. I can make 2 pieces of Black Diablos gear. I was freaking going nuts. As painful as this encounter was, it was totally worth it. These drops were nuts, and making 2 pieces of Diablos gear was more than I could ever ask for. I was so happy. I was just going nuts inside my car. It was crazy. Black Diablos number 7 was located at the next city near a mall. It's literally our only mall in this area, and it's pretty dead, so easy parking. Hour 2 was pretty slow though, but considering just how lucky I'd been, I wasn't gonna complain. I was having so much fun. I was having a blast. Sadly, this encounter actually sucked. I had to restart this battle because I froze on the last one and my special attack did nothing. It was like network error and no damage. It wasted 10 seconds and I was like, oh hell nah. So after wasting a potion, I went off. I was stunning this thing like crazy. I was dodging all those ramming attacks like a freaking god. I was zigging and zagging. He went left, I went right. And this time it wasn't going to happen. As you see, I'm just like going off. I'm blasting it. Somehow I wasn't getting any perfect evades. I was like, really, dude? But you know, it's whatever. I was just going off. At the last piece, you know, I had it with this thing. So you know what? I was going to special attack. I'm like, you know, it's not happening this time around. You're dead. And we're finishing you off. Thankfully, it went down. No notable drops this time, but I'm not complaining. I'm just happy to find another Black Diablos. I'm having a blast, and I'm like, you know what? It's all good. On to the next one. Let's go. Black Diablos number 8 had to take a minute to find, as I had to move a bit to find this Black Diablos. This area was painful though. This place had a terrible signal. It's a brand new housing residence that I've never been to. When I moved to my newer city, which is literally right next to this city, this one was still being built, and it was finally done, and it was just terrible because I was just like, oh my gosh, this signal is garbage. I was like going in and out, and luckily I found this area to where I could get a good enough signal to take out this Black Diablos. I was still panicking though because I was like, you know what, I really hope I'm able to take this thing out before I get any network errors. The battle starts and it was just trying to, I was like, I'm like, dude, this thing has like, it's like just trying to kill me. It's like, it's just ramming me back and forth. But luckily that made its attack pattern really easy to figure out. This roar cancels out whatever I was trying to do, and it's literally just trying to freaking ram me, but you know what, this time I got your timing down, and that perfect evade was just freaking sweet. I'm making that right wing just eat every arrow known to existence. For some reason, I just can't break it to save my life. And just to make sure I end it, I tried a special attack, and for some reason, it just doesn't finish. I'm like, are you serious? And after that, because of that miss, it was able to take me out. Luckily, I still had some time to recover and take out this Black Diablos. It was totally worth it though. It dropped a Rarity 2 Black Diablos Tail and Rarity 3 Black Diablos Ridge. So despite how painful this battle was, this Black Diablos taking it out was totally worth it. I wasn't going as nuts in my car though. I was like actually really pissed off because I was like, really, this residential area sucks. everywhere. I was like, you know, everywhere. I'm like, I never imagined like my first time being here after moving was this painful. And now we got Black Diablos number 9. I was super excited because I found my 9th Black Diablos in only 5 minutes into the final hour. I was super happy. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, my 9th one, let's go. And I was so happy because there was no problems for this encounter. Easy parking, and as usual, I'm taking out that right wing. For some reason, these things really like charging at me. And I managed to perfectly evade, and I was like, okay, I'm going off. This one's gonna be an easy battle. For some reason, I was just going off, and I don't know how I was like, is this thing going to attack or not? And I was like, I was super close, so I got a little scared there. I was a little sloppy in the second half of the battle, as you see here. I was super close. Not only that, for some reason, this thing was letting me charge up. And I managed to get out the ground. I was like, all right, you are dead. I'm not going to use my special attack because I have you stunned. And I was able to bring it down after stunning it from the underground. And after this one, it dropped a rarity 4 Black Diablos Prime Shell. Another one. I can make 3 pieces of Black Diablos gear. I was super freaking stoked. I was like, another rarity 4, and somehow my brain out calculated I had enough materials to make 3 pieces of Diablos armor. Black Diablos armor. Correction. I was going freaking nuts. I was super stoked and just going crazy in my car. And luckily, no one could. It's Sunday, so everyone's probably out and are at church, and I'm like, no one was looking, and I didn't even care. I could craft 3 pieces of Black Diablos gear. I'm getting super lucky. I don't care who's watching. I was going crazy. After a bit, I found double-digit Black Diablos, baby. This one was interesting though because I'm the school mental health therapist that's assigned right next to the school that's around this corner. So that middle school that's right there, I'm like, oh, that's one of my middle schools. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I knew exactly where this was. I had to find a parking spot, but it was an easy location overall. This one was a little annoying. It was a perfect no damage battle. As you see, I was ducking and dodging. So anyways, I started blasting. I love Danny DeVito reference, by the way. And I ult. As you see, I was like Legolas. I'm like, I'm about to finish you off. And somehow it lived. And I was like, are you serious, bro? I'm like, okay, whatever. So that was just like a little annoying. Outside of surviving my special attack, it didn't actually drop anything notable. But again, I'm not going to complain, because honestly, I was already happy with what I got. I was having a blast. This day was amazing. Eventually, I found my 11th Black Diablos. It didn't take too long, fortunately. And this one was interesting, though. You see where that spawn is located? On the other side, that spawn is located at a tech company building right there. So on the other side, there's this long road, and then there's a tech company building right over there. Luckily, I didn't have to use any range expansion items. I was like, you know, it's fine if I use it, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. But this one, oh my gosh, this battle was nuts. As you see there, I totally oofed the perfect evade. I was like, oh man, that's bad. So I just revived. The reason I was reviving is because if I didn't want to drift out, because I was already at the edge of that spawn to be able to have this Black Diablos appear. So as you see, I thought I was doing good, and then I was like, oh my god, I was like, that's bad. So I tried to dodge and I mismeasured. This thing went ham, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is bad. But luckily, I had enough time. I was able to finish it off, and I was like, man, you were a lot of trouble. No notable drops, but you know, it's all good. I managed to take it out, and you know what, I was still having the time of my life. Someone find me a 12 gauge shotgun because I found my 12th Black Diablos, baby. It was crazy. I was like, wait, a 12th one? There's no way. Not only that, this one was easy to find and easy to park at. And this was my redemption arc. I was slapped in the face, backhanded to oblivion last battle, so I needed to make up for it. I didn't go Ultra Instinct or Gear 5, so it wasn't that dramatic, but hey, you know what? It was still a perfect battle. No damage, and I was going off. But somehow, one thing that was annoying about this battle, and you're going to see it happen after this one, perfect evade, bam! And I was like, you know what, let's make this freaking cool. And I ult, and I was like, did you seriously just go underground and survive that? And I was like, wow, you know what, whatever. Still no damage, so I was satisfied. This one dropped a Rarity 3 Black Diablos Ridge, and I was super happy to see that drop. I was like, alright, cool, we got something that was worth it. And Black Diablos 6-star number 2! On my way home, I actually found a second Black Diablos, that's 6-star before the event ended. and I was just laughing because I know I got trolled. This was like episode 2, the Clone Wars, but not much of a war. It was more like a troll because there was women left in the event, and there was no way I was going to beat a 6-star Black Diablos with my current gear and weaponry. There's just no way. So I just paintballed it for content. And here are my end of event statistics. 16 Black Diablos slain. Is this a solo world record? And I mean by solo world record as in I didn't use any ults to kill more Black Diablos. So I don't know if there's anybody out there that's killed 16 Black Diablos this weekend only using one account. And I didn't have any help either, so no parties in this run. However, I also did see 19 Black Diablos total, which were 3 6-star Black Diablos. In day 1, I slayed 4 Black Diablos with 1 6-star Black Diablo scene, and in day 2, I slayed 12 Black Diablos with 2 6-star Black Diablos slain. As well as my material drops, for my material drops, I got 68 Rarity 1 Black Diablos Fangs, 36 Rarity 1 Black Diablos Shells, 8 Rarity 2 Black Diablos Tear Cases, 10 Rarity 3 Black Diablos Ridges, and 6 Rarity 4 Black Diablos Prime Shells. These were enough materials to forge 3 pieces of Black Diablos equipment. And here's my overall review of the Diablos Invasion event. It was terrible. My day 2 was way better than my day 1, and ultimately I'm super happy with my results, even though I had to use gems to double up on drops. But just because I did well does not mean I won't validate the woes of other players who were less fortunate than I am. Their complaints are very, very valid. Day 1 spawn should have been day 2 spawns. It's unacceptable how someone forgot to raise day 1 Diablos rage, just like how errors like this happen all the time in Pokemon Go. Black Diablos and Diablos should have been nerfed. It is unreasonable to think a party should be able to carry Hunter rank 11 players at this point, and even players having a group to play with. Not everyone plays in Japan, not everyone plays in Singapore, not everyone plays in those hot places with a lot of players that played Monster Hunter. A lot of players like me in America will struggle to find a group. They did this for raids in Pokemon Go, why not do this for this event? If I didn't grind super hard despite having a full-time job and not having early access for a month like some countries did, I would have never stood a chance against Diablos or Black Diablos. Overall, I really hope y'all had some fun if you played the event, and those of you that couldn't play the event, that you have a good experience on the next event. I really hope the next one is better. Look out for Black Diablos weapons and armor content coming from me next week. And with that being said, I worked super hard on this project and I hope you really enjoyed the video. So do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm, and I will see y'all on the next one.